Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share a pen favorites video. Shout out to Lindsay over at Lindsay Scribbles. I totally got this idea from watching her video and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to share my favorites because this year has definitely been a journey as I've tried a ton of different planners and have settled on a few that I really love, and these are the pens that I use in the variety of planners that I use because I do use various types of paper, everything from, you know, super thick textured paper to thicker smooth paper all the way down to the thinnest of papers like the Tombow River paper. So let's go ahead and jump in. I kind of tried my best to do this in categories as much as possible. So I wanted to start with gel pens because gel pens will always have a place in my heart. I'm not a ballpoint person. It's just not for me. It's not for me. So first up, and these are like in no particular order, or they may be in a very particular order. I'm not 100% sure. First up is the Pentel Energel Clena. If you guys have been watching my videos recently, you're no stranger to seeing me use this pen even in multiple different bodies. I do prefer the Pentel Energel in general. They have great ink, but specifically it is the ones with the needle tip. That's just what I prefer personally. They write really well. For the most part, I do use the 0.4 the most, but every now and then a 0.5 will creep in and I don't realize it till I'm like halfway through writing. Like, this is a 0.4, but I feel like it writes like a 0.5. I don't know. I really love these pens. They're easy to hold. They come in a variety of different bodies. I purchase my refills through Jet Pens, and they just come in like little packages like this from Jet Pens, and it's the LRN4, and that's the 0.4 for the Pentel Energel Clena. I'm not really sure what other pen bodies it fits in, but they write really well. I do have a post over on my Instagram where I share different like smudge tests and things like that of different pens, but I'm definitely not going to do that in today's video. It'd be quite the mess. So first one is the Pentel Energel Clena, and it does write super smooth on the Tombow River paper. I absolutely love it. Next up is a favorite that was recommended by my friend Madi over at Madi Plans a List on Instagram, and this is the Sarasa MarkOn, in particular the 0.5. I really like this one simply because it is very highlighter friendly. It doesn't smudge a whole lot on the Tombow River paper, and it's a click pen. I love Sarasa pens in general. I mean, they're just some of my favorite, but it writes really well on this paper. And I will say this, you're going to see this, I am just a black ink person through and through. You're not going to see anything different from me on this page. While there are some inks in different colors that I'd love to try in the fountain pen world, for my gel pens, it's going to be black ink no matter what. I'll also be sure to leave as many links as possible for the pens that I'm mentioning, but a lot of these are in my Amazon favorites in my Amazon storefront. But 10 out of 10 recommend this one. You can also get this on Jet Pens and or Amazon, so very accessible, which is awesome. Next up is the Muji, the click one, and this is in the 0.5. I'm sure most of you are no stranger to Muji pens, but they do write really well, especially on the Tombow River paper, and I just really like it. It's a super plain bodied pen, and this happens to be the last one that I have. I don't know where the rest of them went because I actually purchased mine at the Muji store in New York City, and somehow I lost like all 10 of them. I don't know how that happens. There's like a, you know, like the sock in the dryer, that they just randomly disappear. So definitely love this one though. 10 out of 10 recommend. I think you can get these on Amazon. I'm not 100% sure, but I will check for you guys. All right, so let's talk about a couple of more bold gel pens that I really like. These are both in 0.7. The first one is the Sarasa Grand by Zebra. This one I got at Target like a couple of years ago. It's just a black body, but I've seen it come in blue, gold, white with turquoise, things like that. But this is a very thick pen. And it's probably not the most friendly for Tombow River paper, but it works great on like your Erin Condren paper, your Moxie Life, things like that. It does take far more drying time on the Tombow River paper, but it's a beautiful pen nonetheless. It's also really heavy, which I absolutely love in a pen. I love a good heavy pen. I don't know what it is. And this one, the size and everything is great. I will say the fact that it doesn't have like a rubber grip or even a silicone grip can sometimes be a little bit annoying. I already have like a pretty like built up callus on my middle finger, and this does not help. But still, it's always in my pen case because I love it so much. This one is a newer one to me. I think I saw Jen over at Jen Plans share the Bic Gelocity. I think she was sharing it in blue ink. I fell in love with this one right away. I think it's by far one of the ugliest pens I've ever seen. However, it writes very much like the Sarasa Grand. I can find these at my grocery store, which is a little bit dangerous, but these are great, and I've actually started using these a lot at work. I don't like to buy expensive pens for work, so since these are fairly inexpensive, I grabbed a couple of packs to have at work. I think that they're great. I don't use these at all in the Tombow River paper, but I love this in my Moxie Life planner. Like, these two right here in my Moxie Life planner is where it's at. I love them so, so much. Okay, so lastly, for the gel pens, you're not going to be able to see the Jelly Roll, but this is my first year using the Jelly Roll. I'll show you in a bit after I show you a couple of markers that I'd love to mention, but I have been loving the Jelly Roll pen. Let me go to a couple of daily pages where I started using it. I have so many pen test pages in this planner, but when I first jumped into my Hobonichi Cousin, I would do a lot of things with black and use like the white as an accent. So I just really, really loved it, and now it's like a staple to keep in my pen case. So that's kind of how I know that it's something that I love, is because I won't, when I go to clean out my pen pouch, like if it stays, it's a favorite. And I will show you guys how that looks with another one of my favorite markers that I'll show you in a bit. This one shocked me. Absolutely shocked me. This is the Frixion Synergy in the 0.5. This is an erasable pen. I am not a huge fan of Frixion markers. I'm really, really not. I feel like they are not very pigmented, and they're not as, I don't know, mainly it's the pigment part for me. So let's go ahead and write with that one. This is the Frixion, whoops, oh, I messed up, so I can at least erase it. That's the best part, right? So it's the Synergy, and this is in 0.5, and you'll see what I mean if I can get my camera to focus, but it's like a grayer black. That does not sit well with my soul, so I keep it around because it's fun sometimes, or like I'll use it when I'm making a grocery list, things like that. I have purchased a few of these for work, but as far as like actually in my planner, probably not. So is it 100% a favorite? Not really, but it is something that I wanted to share with you guys that I have started using, and I do like it. It's not my absolute favorite though. All right, let's talk about markers. So this year, since I started using a Hobonichi Cousin and some other paper products that have this beautiful paper, I started using a lot of Tombow markers. And these are just a few of my favorites that I've purchased individually from, I believe, all from Jet Pens, honestly. And the first one is N65. I love this one so much. If you're not familiar with what Tombow markers are, they are a dual tip brush pen. So you have the brush on one side and then the like smaller tip on the other side, but they're really, really easy to letter with. I thoroughly enjoy using them. That's the N65. Love this one. Now the one that I know I'm probably going to buy 10 more of is N79. I have used the heck out of this one. It is the most perfect grayish marker on the planet. I have two. I was like, I could tell from a photo that a couple of my friends shared that I was going to like it, so I did grab 2. But I already am like, what if I lose one of those? I absolutely love this one though. So I definitely grab a few of those. I love that you can get them individually from Jet Pens. That is definitely a favorite. The next one is, I think it's $9.92. I used this one a lot before I got these two, and I love this one so much. It's more of like a taupey, like it's got some green in it, but it's a good neutral marker. I don't know, I really like it. Okay, next up for Tombow markers, like this is the set that is like, if I have a spread or something that's not going to be totally neutral, it's probably going to be using one of these markers. I fell in love with this set so freaking much. Oh my god, I'll be sure to put the link down in the comments because I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. So I'll just start swatching these for you while I talk. But these are just beautiful. This one's this one's 947. Perfect for fall and just, I don't know, decorating all of your pages, lettering them. I don't know, it's perfect. $9.90 is super light. I had to do that one twice because otherwise you're not going to be able to see it at all. Although I can see it just fine on my end, but this isn't one that I've loved out of the set, I'll be quite honest. The rest though are absolutely stunning. 26, probably my favorite. Out of all of these, it's really pretty. Like I said, I'll leave the link for these down at the bottom. This one is 76. And this one's also just almost a neutral, but it's definitely green. This one is 98. I definitely want to create one of those Tombow like trackers or grids in my planner so that I can track all the colors that I have. These two are very similar. Of the blues, this one is my favorite, N52. It is like a nice, not too slate blue, but I love it. I've used it quite a few times. The other blue, not exactly my favorite, but it's beautiful to have as part of the collection. Again, I'm not a blue ink person in general, so this one isn't exactly up my alley, but this entire set in general is just very beautiful. Love the purples. We'll probably be using this for a couple of like Go Wild spreads since those colors are primarily purple. It's just really pretty. Love them so much. Next one is 757. It's like a beautiful like wine color. I know this is like super messy, but if you're just kind of like having your coffee or tea and just hanging out with me, you probably do not care whether or not it's neat. And then the last one is 679, which is a super dark plum color. Whoops, 679. So yeah, these are my favorites of the Tombows that I have so far. I'm absolutely paranoid of these being separated from one another, but I did swatch them and put them on a page where I have a whole notebook full of swatches because I do want them to stay together. I don't know why that's so important to me right now, and it probably won't be in the future, but that's where I'm at right now. Okay, let's talk about dot markers, because as you know, last year I fell in love with the Zig clean color dot markers. The platinum is my absolute favorite, or just gray if that's what you want to call it. But this year along came the black, and I don't think a lot of people even realize that the Zig clean color dot came in a black marker, but this is a beauty of a marker. It's great to use for your habit trackers. It's great to use for your checklists. Now, my only gripe with this with habit trackers is that it's a little bit hard to stay like consistent with the dots. I mean, with some practice you can, but obviously the appeal of the Zig clean color dot is that you can make a variety of different size dots. So it has a dot tip on one side and then a 0.5 on the other side of the marker. And like I said, this is where I really fell in love with the jelly roll. This is what I wanted to show you guys, is how you can do like a checklist or some type of tracker in your planner with the black Zig Clean Color dot, and then you can just check it off with the white marker, and it is just the coolest thing. The coolest thing ever to see. It's just a different variation of, you know, instead of it being a checkbox or a circle, it's a black dot, and it's really cool. So I would definitely recommend that. This is definitely something that always, without a doubt, stays in my pen case. All right, and then the last for the markers, this is actually a newer set that I just got directly from Zebra Pens, but this is the neutral set of Mildliners from Zebra Pen, and I love these so much. This is probably this is my second set of markers, so I'm just going to swatch these while I chat. I love the original Mildliners. I have another set of those. Absolutely love these, but sometimes you just want something a little bit more neutral, and that's what this set provides for you. I don't remember if this one actually has the colors on. Yes, it does. So this is the dark gray, and I'm not going to like spell them all out for you guys because I'm sure you're like, wow, this video is already very long. But this one is just the regular gray. I think this is the same one that comes in the main kit right here. I love this next gray because it has like a tinge of blue. This is the cool gray. And then of course we get into like the warmer colors. So you have like this olive color, which is, yes, called olive. Thank goodness. This one, not my favorite because it writes very much like a traditional highlighter, but this one is the cream color. It's very bright, hard to probably see through the screen, but it's also not very pigmented on the paper. One of my absolute faves from this is the beige. Love it very much. It's a must-have. And then of course is this one the coffee one? This one's copper, not coffee. Close enough. Love that. And then the last one is just the brown. Love, love, love. Okay, and then a couple of honorable mentions will be the two only fountain pens that I own. But I love them so much. The first is the Pilot Vanishing Point. This was an anniversary gift, and it is stunning. It's a heavy fountain pen. To me, as someone who's new to the fountain pen world, it's weird and confusing because the click is over here, the clip is over here, like the actual, you know. But this is the only fountain pen that I've ever seen that's a click fountain pen. This is like the neatest thing ever. I love that it's black. The tip of the fountain pen is even black or like a dark metal. It's a fairly heavy pen, like I said. It writes beautifully. If you've watched any of my latest reels over on Instagram, this is the one that I've been writing with. I have mine and it's got to get a little bit warmed up. I'm just going to write Pilot Vanishing Point. The P does not look good because I just wrote over it twice. But I love this one. I have it in the fine tip. Now I will say this, I struggle with print with this pen, but not with cursive or like bouncy lettering. That I have no issues with at all. The current ink that I have in here, probably not widely recommended by those that are fountain pen pros, but this is just what was in my gift. But it's the cartridges for Pilot. It's the Namiki Pilot fountain pen ink cartridge in black. So they just come in this little box with like more ink than I probably need in a lifetime. Super easy to put in the pen. So if you're just like starting out, then a cartridge might be the way to go. But I love this pen. I reach for it a lot. I've been doing a lot of my journaling with it. It's just really fun to have. Is it really pricey? Abso-freaking-lutely. But if you want to gift yourself something really special in the form of a pen, this would be it, at least from my point of view as someone who's fairly new. Okay, the other one that I do want to mention is this Twisbi Eco. This is neat. I could not even tell you what the color of this body is other than just clear with red on the top. I got it in medium, and now I understand why no one uses a medium fountain pen, because it writes thick. It writes very, very thick. And I always also forget that it's a twist off top, but it writes like a marker. But I will say this, it's a lot smoother to write with than the Vanishing point, which is why I'm even considering getting a replacement tip for this in the medium. I just haven't exactly decided yet, but you can see like the Twisbi in the medium, it's so like, it writes very, very thick. The ink that I have in here is the Twisbi ink in black, but a lot of you guys recommended getting a different ink that was archival. So I have one coming from Jet Pens, but I have no idea how I'm actually going to change that out. So part of me is like, do I need a different pen? Because damn, there's a lot of ink in here. So unless I just go writing everything for like the next month in this pen, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I will head to YouTube for more things, more information. But I am loving exploring these pens and the inks and all of that fun stuff. It's been really, really fun to just try something new, and specifically this pen, it's just really, really fun to write with. I still recommend something more on the finer tip side of things. I don't know, I just feel like it's going to be a little bit easier to write with. And I'm really, really curious to try out like the archival ink and see what that's going to be like for me, because I've heard you could highlight over that really, really well. So I'm excited to try it out. So that is it for everything favorite pen, marker, fountain pen wise for me. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I thoroughly enjoyed making it. And now I have this page for reference. So if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you are already subscribed, make sure you click that notification bell so that you know when my videos are posted here on YouTube. And definitely go check out Lindsay's video. I'll try to leave a link for it down below in the description. She has just been a wealth of knowledge for me as far as planning in this style of planner on this paper. So definitely a new account that I just started following, but just one that I've thoroughly enjoyed following. All right, guys, I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.